changed the world with a novel. He began the novel, called The Rum Diary, in 1959 as a 22-year-old journalist. Now, 40 years later, it has been resurrected. It is the story of a group of hard-drinking, hard-living reporters living in San Juan, something that he knows a little bit about. I'm pleased to have him back at this table, my friend, Dr. Thompson. Welcome back, and I think it is entirely appropriate, sir.
Indeed.
Great to see you.
Yeah, that's fun.
That you bring me, in the grand tradition, something from...
The Lilies of Paradise.
Where did you steal this?
I didn't steal it, no.
You didn't steal it.
I'm past
You
that.
borrowed it.
Yeah, no, these were a present.
I'm honored. I don't want to take.
Yeah.
I don't want to take light of
from my bouquet.
the receiving of it,
I
but
have
I
a
also
bouquet of
want to
these.
catch the humor of where it might have come from.
This time I didn't steal them from a market on the side of the street.
Yeah, these are great. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah?
you want to just
Do what?
You want to fondle these things, you know? Yeah, it's a birds of paradise.
Yes, it indeed.
We need a little more of a
Yes, we
spray
do.
back there.
Yeah, but you know what? It's the thought behind it that makes the real difference.
Yeah, well,
So
I kept the other parts. I have a gigantic spray at the hotel.
I'm going to put those right there so I can take them home and put them in a place of honor.
Yeah.
All right,
it's a
so
great pleasure to have them.
let's make use of this time. You started this 55?
More like 59.
59, okay.
Yeah.
So some might ask.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Why 40 years?
Oh, well, I was a novelist then, you know. I went, I was on the road, like you can do at age 22. You can bounce. And I went to San Juan to do the normal jobs, like we have done, all of us, on the soldier circuit. That's what we're talking about. Job in San Juan, and I was writing a book. And Bill Kennedy, the
great Bill Kennedy.
Yeah, now the eminent novelist, was then the managing editor of the San Juan Star.
Right.
He was a journalist. I was a novelist. And
Look what happened.
Yeah, he refused to hire me, called me a swine.
Called you a swine?
Yeah. Fool, beatnik. And we go way back, but Kennedy helped me. It was a good time. It was one of those, when there's a kind of confluence of talents and people. It's not often that you try to get a job on a junk newspaper and find Kennedy struggling along as a managing editor. You're like, ye gods, with these drunken Swedes, we can't get any police reporters. It was a real thing. And I just started writing it then, and I gave it up.
Did you give it up because he told you ought to publish it after you die, posthumously?
No, I gave it up because it bounced about 7 times.
Because what?
It bounced about 7 times. I got the the standard list of rejection slips.
Yeah, right.
And I came back from South America, and I got into the politics of the 60s and 70s. It was a full-time job. And I became the journalist, and Kennedy became the novelist. It was a very eerie kind of shift.
But you very much wanted to be a novelist at that time. I mean, that...
Yeah. I thought, to me, a writer was a novelist. I brought something over here for the Joseph Conrad thing. Yeah, the influence
What Joseph Conrad thing?
Oh, help! Help! No one is helping me.
All right, well, we can't do that now.
All right.
So it's taken so long to do it because...
Well, I wrote...
I know you've had other things to do, I know. And you've been writing all those letters that you were keeping all of those copies of.
I did that before. Yeah, it's Doug Brinkley's job. He sorts the letters out.
Yeah.
I have to live with that. But I've been talking about this. It's on all these, books by Harris Thompson.
Right.
Everybody's saying, well, I can't seem to find the Rum Diary.
Yeah.
Where is the Rum Diary? And I thought, well, we have a little time with this. It's kind of a romantic notion, that and money. I was faced with the fact of having to dig out my 40-year-old, story. Can't change it. And confronting it like, ye gods, this is me. This is the world I lived in. So I approached it as a writer. It's a good story.
What's the story?
I knew you'd ask.
What? What?
It's a story of what I call a vagrant journalist.
Yes.
And they're still all over the world. Wherever there are English language newspapers, you know, people who travel from the Bangkok Post. There's always an English language newspaper in some.
Right.
You know, there's one in Kazakhstan now. There's a Margaritaville one in Kazakhstan.
Well, speaking of Margaritaville, here's what Buffett says.
Oh, yeah.
The Rum Diaries shows a side of human nature that is ugly and wrong. But it is a world that Hunter Thompson knows in the nerves of his neck. This is a brilliant tribal study and a bone in the throat of all decent people. That from the kid from Margaritaville.
Yeah. Well, I think Buffett knows that world.
All right, but let me just stay with, yeah, he does. Let me stay with, here's what we've been talking about, William Kennedy, you know, the Pulitzer Prize-winning author of Iron Weed. The tools Hunter Thompson would use in the years ahead: bizarre, wit, mockery without end, redundant excess, supreme self-confidence, the narrative of the wounded meritorious ego, and the idiopathic anger of the righteous outlaw.
Idiopathic. Man, I had to look that up.
I would too.
Yeah.
Idiopathic. We're all there in his precocious imagination in San Juan. There too were the beginnings of his future as a masterful American prose stylist. I said that way so it could just ring in your ears.
Yeah.
Masterful American prose stylist.
Yeah, that's, I bow to that. That's,
See, you really do. I mean, and deep inside of you, I mean, for those of us who, it is this sense of how much the word, despite everything, what is most meaningful to you is prose stylist, is the written word.
I like the music. I'm a music freak. You know, I go totally by rhythms. And I mentioned Conrad, the influences that I was under at the time, which is very hard for a 22-year-old. With here, try a line from the preface to the Nigger of the Narcissus. Have you ever read that booker?
No.
Oh man, it maybe is the final statement on the writing of prose in America and the world.
What's the title?
It's just the preface to The Nigger of the Narcissus, Conrad's great story.
Right.
And he says, any work that aspires to the condition of art must carry its justification in every line. Holy
wow.
Art is long,
justification.
Art is long and life is short, and success is very far off. Now try to justify that at the age of 22, when you think, hot damn, man, I can bounce. Yeah. I had hard teachers. And Kennedy, of course, was merciless. Yeah. But Conrad is the most merciless of all teachers. Conrad gives no ground.
That sets a high bar.
Hey, really, about the highest bar.
Yeah.
And I'm always reminded when you really get into it of how, you know, where the bars are and who the champions are. Yeah. And I haven't gotten to Conrad yet. He's a very solemn man. You know, he didn't laugh much. Yeah. But this was a great writer.
Who are the champions for you as novelist in America?
America. Well, when I was growing up, you know, at that age I'm not sure how I drifted into this, but I got into the influence of, I lived here in New York. Yeah, I went to Columbia, and took classes at the New School. I fell under bad influences, but it was it was Garcia, Lorca, Fitzgerald, Hemingway, of course, Faulkner.
I take no pride in this question, but Paul Kemp is you.
No, not really. I didn't.
No?
I didn't. Well, since I was doing it right then, I was very careful not to make any one character me.
But it's not your sensibilities? It's not...
Well, my sensibilities really inform all the characters, but I tried to split myself up. I tried to do what Fitzgerald did with Gatsby, in the using the Nick Carraway character and the Gatsby, the Jimmy Getz, They're both the same people. One of them's looking, you know, from outside.
Right.
And I had a hard time with that. A lot of things look very simple until you try to do them. Yeah, it's like a quintuple flip off a high board. And yeah, so I was really both of those characters. And the whole thing is very real. I'm not sure where I find myself. Sometimes in Yemen, sometimes in Kemp.
Right. And what's the relationship between Fritz Yemen and his girlfriend?
Oh, that's one of these young love things. You know, you fall in love at a party in New York and say, well, hey, I got a job in Puerto Rico. Why don't you come on down with me? Yeah. We have a beach house and, you know, beautiful girl.
So is Chenault your ex-wife?
Well, not really. Not any. Like I tried to.
You're informed.
The situation.
You're informed by everything you do.
Yeah.
You know how much I like you, and so having said that,
Okay.
no, come on. Here it comes. Right. Why is it that this is the? I mean, here's a guy, you, with your dedication to prose. Why is this the first novel you have written? When you wanted to be a novelist, and don't tell me the answer is because you've been doing all these other things. I mean, is the answer that you sort of, you know...
It was not rewarding. Well, I didn't get paid for it. You know, and that what I saw when there was...
You love Conrad this much, and you still can't say that art is not its own reward?
Excuse me. Art is not its own reward, boy. Where have you been living?
What?
Where have you been living?
Yeah, yeah, I know.
In heaven, yeah, in heaven. It's like, you know. No, it's not. For a writer, professional writer.
Yeah.
You know, I think Truman Capote said it. If it's not published, it's not there. I didn't do it.
Right.
You know, it's part of the process. And the other part is you must have fuel. You know.
And fuel.
With enough expense money, all things are possible. Yeah, that comes from the 70s. That's when things were fun.
Okay. So what's the answer? Nobody paid you enough money to write a novel, or you didn't, you know, you had to go off and do things that you could make money, so you didn't have time. I mean, these are rather flimsy excuses, aren't they?
Probably so. You know, they're all.
They are.
Compared to Conrad, I just.
Compared to your potential.
Flimsy. Maybe I should have written writing novels.
Your potential, this is. You know, this is about 35 years too late.
Charlie, you're a journalist. Now, what if you had a choice between, here you had an assignment to write a book about the Hells Angels.
Right.
And you're nursing your novel along. It's been rejected 7 times by 7 respectable publishers. Your best friend, Kennedy, has told you, well, really, that sucks.
Yeah, right.
And then suddenly...
somebody comes along with an offer to go off with the Hells Angels.
There's a war on.
Yeah.
You know, and then there was, in the 60s, there was a war.
Right.
And I was paid at all the expenses I needed to go everywhere, you know, on the front. It really was like a war. And I didn't have the time, you know, to attend to art.
Okay, then why now? Why do you have the time now?
I had to make time.
Sir.
Yeah.
Is this not self-contradictory?
No.
You had to make time. You could have made time in the 80s.
No, but I could have. Yeah. But this time I had to.
You know? What do you mean you had to?
Well, the book was going to be published.
Oh, I see. So you had to finish.
Hey, I was prepared to, like anything, you know, let them publish anything after I'm dead.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad I didn't do that.
Did you think this was going to be the great American novel when you were writing it?
I had that hubris, I guess. You know, but if you read Puerto Rican novel, you know, I think,
the great Puerto Rican novel.
Yeah. It's I had a sense it was going to be.
Yeah.
I had that sense about everything I was doing.
Well, what did you think of the movie about you?
That's funny. Johnny Depp asked me that question last night on the telephone.
By the way, I like him a lot.
Hey, I do too.
Man, he's
a
great.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to do something. He's going to work in this. We're going to make a movie of this one. This is a melancholy book.
Yeah.
This is a book.
It's good, though. He's good.
But
So he'll play Dr. T, too, huh? He'll play Paul Kent.
There's room for movement here. This isn't the rigid kind of
Yes.
interior monologue
Yeah.
cell that the Vegas book was. Like, you know, what's happening is what you're thinking, not what's going on. Nobody thinks much here. You know,
They do.
No, there's not a lot of thinking. It's like, you know.
So how did you answer Johnny Depp's question? What did you think of the movie?
Oh, yeah. I liked it, really. It's an experience. You have to, you have to go through the fire. And I would have maybe done it differently, but I'm not a movie director. I'm good at books. So I liked it. Yeah, but I wouldn't, no, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't have my children see it every night.
Is that right?
Yeah, but I don't know how that book was structured so it's not going to really be edifying. You know, there's no way to make that thing a hero story.
Yeah.
What people of all kinds of, for no reasons and different heritages and criminal backgrounds go into a scum-ridden place like Las Vegas and behave worse than the people they're viewing.
Yeah.
So that's not one of those uplifting books. But that was a work of art in a way. Yeah.
Did I read somewhere that your British publisher asked you not to come over and promote it?
No, matter of fact, they've been trying to get me over there.
Oh, they are. So that's not true.
Hurley, now that you mentioned that, I'm sorry, but I'd forgotten.
What are you trying to do to my table?
It's one of these flimsy oak tables. I know the center.
You're trying to test its stability?
I wouldn't like this.
What?
No,
this is a great table.
This is one of those things like it's a wall you can hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I hit a wall last night.
You're a lot more likely to lose your hand than you are to damage the table.
Oh, man, I hit a wall last night, and you have to know the difference, living this way. And when I shot and popped out, white wall that looked just the same as this, It was stone concrete. Somewhere else.
Well, why were you doing it? What precipitated that action?
Just having fun.
Just having fun.
Yeah. I've been reading this Remney's book about
David Remney on Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
It's a great book, as you
Absolutely.
just mentioned to me.
Yeah.
You like boxing?
I liked it when Ali was there. The boxer.
The real thing.
Yeah, I don't like it now.
Well, there's no one to like now.
Oh, like wrestling, I believe that all of this.
Heavyweight.
I think boxing and wrestling are about to kind of merge.
Oh God, I hope not. I hope not.
Oh yeah.
Well, in other words, what they're doing is they're promoting all these older guys who it's all about show and not about skill.
Yeah, but there's all these thugs being thrown out of the NFL, and people who slit, roommates' throats in college and still run for 1,000 yards. I think they're all going to be in some kind of weird wrestling league. And that's going to happen in,
maybe
2 years. And that's be about the time
well, that's true. Yeah, somebody will pick it up. Hey,
the year 2000, you're going to see Bill and Monica in Paris together, reunited before the century's over.
So what do you think about Bill and Monica? What do you think? The president you admire?
No, I don't admire.
You don't admire?
No. No. I did endorse him, in a war once. I think he's, kind of destroyed the standard for what's fun in politics for good people. Nixon was great because he brought the best people into politics. And Clinton is going to be famous for driving all but the worst ones out. And I think that's what's happening. This is a democracy, and if you don't participate, somebody else is going to do it for you. And that's what's happening here. Less than 4 out of every 10 voters are going to go to the polls. And we have this subsequent mess where it's all left in the hands of Nazis, like Starr, and I believe, fascist, Starr, Jesse Helms. These people should all be hung by their heels like Mussolini. And maybe Clinton along with them.
Well, I hope we don't go that far.
Well, what the hell? It is, it's a decadence, the last 10 years of the century. Weird things are going to happen. Weird.
Where do you think you'll be when the clock ticks forward for the year 2000?
That's a tricky one. I don't really expect to be here. But, you know, I have...
Come on, you don't expect to be here. We're talking about a year off.
Yeah, it was different, you know, a few years ago. Charlie, I go, every time I get on an airplane, where's my knife? God damn it, these people.
I don't know where your
I'm just going to
knife
show
is.
you how temporal life is. I don't have my tools.
Well, I don't know.
You dirty animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can end any second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's.
You think about that whenever you get on a plane. This thing could be over here in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's going to be your last thought?
Well, see, I know I have to come back around. And I like that little rest between trips. You know, I'm a road man, really, for the Lords of Karma. We've been through this, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, we have. All right, let me say one more thing, because I got to get out of here. The next novel, Polo is My Life.
Hot dog, we're perverse in that one.
Yeah.
No more of this innocent stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
What's Polo is My Life?
Oh, well, it's how I joined the polo crowd by accident. You know, one of these situations where I remember this woman, the title comes from it, talking to this woman that I'd developed a abundance for, who had, for me, a polo person. And I was saying, well, you know, if you had a violent husband and cops all over me, chasing me, and I said, let's go to Australia and get on the train, cross Australia. And he said, you don't understand. Polo is my life. I can't run away with you. Who would take care of my ponies? That's where Polo is my life comes from.
That's great.
And I thought, oh, yeah. Who would take
a woman with her priorities right.
Yeah.
All right. Hunter Thompson, this is the long-lost novel, The Rum Diary. Thank you, my friend, for coming.
Hey, man. It's always a pleasure.
Mine.
Yeah. And then, what are you doing later on? We're going to go over and, Doug Brinkley's reading.
Yeah. Oh, is it tonight?
Yeah, the Art Club.
Yeah.
Going to see Ed Bradley.
A convocation of all the Aspen groups.
Little fun, yeah. Yeah, I'm with the girl. I don't know what if you're wandering around.
Let me say goodbye to this audience. Thank you very much for joining us. Hunter S. Thompson, The Rum Diary. Thank you.